Hello? Puppets? 1 second, Steve. Ooh, see, it's doing that weird little scratchy noise. Steve. Is that better? Ooh, see, it's doing that weird little scratchy noise. Steve. Oh, we're about to get stuck in a loop. I'm gonna mute that before we loop. Let me know if that weird noise is still here. That weird little scratchy noise. Oh, we're about to get stuck in a loop. I'm gonna mute. Okay, it sounded better. It sounded better that time around. Okay, I'm gonna have to do something with the chat here, so give me a momente. I have to go back here and figure out what to do with the chat. So the chat's gonna be moved over here to here now. Is that it? That is it. Okay. And then we'll pull that up. Bigify that. We'll enlargeify this. There we go. Wait, not really. Let me move that down. There we go. Now that's it. There we go. Oh, Eben Halls. Okay, I knew that name looked familiar. Eben Halls. We're here to help out Eben Halls. We're getting him a deck by tomorrow, baby. Same. Cool. All right. So our boy, Eben Halls, has had a surprise commander tournament or game or whatever thrust upon him, and he doesn't even have a deck, dude. So we're going to look at his collection, and we're going to help him build a deck. This is his collection. We have a link to the collection down below, so anybody can look through here and help us pick out something to build here. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and pick a commander, and then try to help him build a deck with the cards he's got as a part of his collection here. So if you guys want to click on the collection down below in the description to help me here, that would be great. First thought, right off the bat. Marnius Calgar is an incredibly powerful commander. Could you give me a rundown, Eben Holes? Like, what is this deck for? What's the power level here? What are we looking at? What do we gauge in this deck as here? I've had a total of 2 surprise pop-up commander games in the last quarter. Well, we're gonna get you prepped for this one. What's the budget we're looking at? Not budget, power level. Like how strong are we looking to make this thing? Because Marnius Calgar would be a fantastic option as a commander. You have a lot of Warhammer stuff, so it looks like you bought one of those precons, so that would just be, you'd have a lot of stuff for that one. Let's see, what else do you have for legendaries? You have High Perfect Morcant, which is very good. I don't know if you have enough elves, but she is very good. What kind of decks do you like as well? That's also important. What style of gameplay do you like doing, my guy? Oh, you got a Lizelle. That's going to be good in certain decks. This is a fun exercise. Yeah, it is. I saw the Discord post, and I was like, I have nothing going on right now. I was supposed to play Cube Draft at the shop, but the guy I'm supposed to be playing with isn't messaging me back. So I'm like, I'm going to go live while koala, I wait for you. What colors do you normally run? Yeah, that's what I'm interested in, because he said he doesn't have a deck right now. So this is just something that can handle being around most decks, hopefully bracket 3, but I don't mind it drifting around 2 or 4. Okay, so I normally do my decks like heavy 2, light 3, and that sounds like kind of what you're looking at here. So that's perfect. So a heavy 2, light 3 deck. Rather than starting from legendaries, why don't we see if there is any 99 cards that we effectively build around? That's fair. That's fair. So let's go. Let's get back to the first page and take a look here. Because right off the bat, I saw I see a Hardened Scales in here, and I see a Lizelle in here, which both add an additional counter when you put counters on stuff. So right off the bat, a 1/1 counter deck seems very, very good to me. We've also got a Chronicle of Victory, so we could do some kind of tribal thing with that. Marnius Calgar, like I said, is just insane. Heroic Intervention is going to be good. Out of the Tomb, so we got some good health, self-mill. Canotep Scarab Swarm is going to be good for tokens. Actually, really, really good for tokens. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on that creature. Honestly, I'm thinking like a 1/1 counter token deck. You have Skull Clamp as well. You have Irenicus's. If we end up having blue in the deck, we can make a copy of whatever commander we end up going with. You have Walking Ballista. Like, that's interesting. We have a lot of 1/1 counter stuff. But also, like you're saying, Magnus, that Marnius Calgar Humans should be worth considering because he makes 2/2... No, he makes Astari's Warriors, though, and he's an Astari's Warrior. Dang! I thought he made Humans. He makes Astari's? That's lame. White, green, +1/+1 counters. He definitely has a lot of good stuff for it. If we could splash blue, that seems very good because we have an Irenicus's in here. We also have some pretty good, like, we have Hollowed Fountain. I don't know. I feel like if we could splash blue, it would be pretty good, but at most, like, Selesnya would be good. I mostly play draft, but I got some disassembled precons recently. Oh, very cool. Okay, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be hella fun then. So far, +1/+1 counters and tokens are your two strongest themes that I'm seeing here. Gwen's really good. Cast the top card of your library for free. It's actually very good. I see some Final Fantasy stuff. Does he have Bant counters Titus? Let's see. No. Oh, yes. It looks like he does. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may move a counter from target creature you control to second target creature. Ooh. Whenever one or more creatures you control with counters on them deal combat damage to a player, you may draw a card and proliferate. I mean, that already. He has Lae'zel, he has Ardent Scales, he has Irenicus's Vile Duplication, he has Titus. That already seems... Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, Double Helix. You took the words out of my mouth, Double Helix. Pretty good. I mean, so far, Titus is in the lead. Like, Titus 1/1 counters. And you have Herald of Secret Streams. I mean, gentlemen, do we need to look? I'm genuinely asking chat. Do we need to keep looking? Because, like, that seems crazy. And then Ebenhall says, got a suggestion from a friend to look into energy counters. That's true. But what's cool about this is if we lean into this 1/1 counter theme, you'll inevitably upgrade it to some stuff that will give you doubles of, like, any counter. Oh, man, I don't know. I feel like you could end up doing the energy stuff anyway. Damning Verdict. Is that like a card? FFX decks were pretty powerful. Does he have the Walking Ballista Infinite? I don't know. Is that Infinite with Heliod? Is that what that goes Infinite with? I do not see a Heliod come up here. Either way, though, I mean, like, that Titus in a 1/1 counter deck seems really good, actually. Let's keep looking. But that's so far what I'm thinking here. Add 2 mana of any combination to play creature spells. Whenever you cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater, put a 1/1 counter on Gwenna. I mean, that's just good mana ramp. Herald of Secret Streams, disgusting. Damning Verdict is the counter-based board wipe. Damning Verdict! I mean, yeah. I think we go Titus. Like, that, he has so much good shit for Titus already. It's actually kind of nuts. Ronan Weeb, what's going on, my guy? How have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. I mean, a 1/1 counter seemed pretty good. He's got Lae'zel in here, too. He's got Peter Parker's Camera to double any triggered or activated abilities, which if we're running Titus... I mean, that seems pretty good. I'm looking for an underrated Golgari commander. Do you have any suggestions? The Infinite was Hardened Scales, Walking Ballista. So he does have Hardened Scales. He does have Walking Ballista. Gata. Gata and Luza. He's got it. Yeah, it's just Titus at that point. It sounds like he may have deconstructed FFX decks. 100%. I think this Titus one would be fun. Because he's got a ton of stuff that's outside of the FFX decks that actually make it, like, incredibly good. Like, the fact that he has, what was it? I can never remember the name. It always sounds... Sphere Grid. I was going to say, I always want to say Tier Grid when I read it. Sphere Grid. Giving your stuff 1/1 counters when it connects. And the creatures that you control with 1/1 to have trample and reach, like, seems disgusting. He's got Irenicus's to get a second Titus. Plus, he's got all the pre-con stuff. Like, that seems good, dude. I say we go Titus. I say we don't even need to look at the rest of this. Like, because, like, I have it organized by price. So this is going to be a lot of his heavy hitter stuff. And a ton of his heavy hitter stuff, hardened scales. Has to do with 1/1 counters. Yeah. That seems... And he's got Path to Exile. That's sick. It's going to be good. I need one more, like, banger for a 1/1 counter deck for me to be like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, there we go. There it is. An Exonerable Tide. Yeah, he has all the stuff that's going to be good from the pre-con, plus a bunch of stuff on top of it. And he's got the Chameleon Spider-Man too, says Eben Hells. So, yeah. I say we go that, my guy. I'll whip up a little, like, reference deck on Moxfield while we're doing this, just to have it. Titus deck. Which Titus was this? How do you feel about that, Eben Halls? And he's got Broker's Ascendancy too. Yikes. Yeah, if Eben Halls, if you're cool and you're like, you like the prospects of possibly building Titus because you have a ton of good shit for it, we could easily get you a heavy 2, light 3, like real good Titus deck. Eben Halls, sounds good. Hey, hell yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so let me see what Titus this was. Yuna's Guardian. Yuna's Guardian. There we go. Cool. Visual grid. Boom. Okay. Let's go back here. Now we'll go through and just look for some stuff for Titus now. So let's go back to page 1. I have Broker's Ascendancy right in front of me. Hey, it's so nice having your collection in here. Okay, let's see what Titus does first. Let's, like, double back here. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may move a counter from target creature you control onto a second creature you control. Whenever one or more creatures you control with counters on them deal combat damage to a player, you may draw a card and proliferate. Okay, so you get a guaranteed proliferate, a source of card draw, and a way to move counters from one thing to other things. Okay, that's gonna be good. Do you have an invisible stalker? No invisible stalker. Okay, that just popped into my head. I was like, that'd be pretty good. Okay, let's see here. So for the Titus deck, we're moving counters around, we're drawing cards, and we're proliferating. Celestine wouldn't be terrible. At the beginning of your end step, return target creature card from your graveyard where with mana value X or less, where X the amount of life you gain this turn, but she has lifelink, so when we're throwing counters on her, she'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger and just keep our creatures that are really good into play. And keep in mind, we're building this deck with his collection, so, like, I think, like, Celestine makes it, right? Like, the fact that she, like, buffs your stuff, she's recursion for some of your important pieces. The deck's going to be able to put counters on her, and then she'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger with Titus's proliferation. As long as she has one counter on her, she's going to get bigger. What's up, Gumba? How we doing? Chronicles of Victory. Reaver Titan, we don't have a lot of blink going on. Other artifact creatures, not a lot of artifact creature going on. Scepter, add 1 color, add 3 mana of any color. We don't really need that. Commissioner, we can't run. Sea of Clouds. Definitely gets in here. Celestine is goated. Yeah, she seems very, very good. In a lot of different builds, too. Like, this one, she seems great. Canoptic Spider. 5 for a 4/4 flying. Whenever another non-token artifact creature or vehicle. Yeah, we don't need it. Marnie's Calgar, we can't run. Resurrection Orb. 2 for equipped creature has lifelink. Whenever equipped creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. I don't know if that one's really going with the deck. So anyone that just joined, we're helping, let me get the name, let me make sure I get the name right here. Eben Halls. Eben Halls in the chat, build a deck. If you want to click the link down in the description, you can check out his collection. We're building this deck for him with his collection cards. So, like, any suggestions, Eben Halls, feel free to, like, take those suggestions if you want to pick up some cards for your build. But we are building with the collection that we have available to us. Heroic Intervention, it definitely goes in there. This is my favorite type of deck building, by the way. This is how I build my decks. I'm like, what do I have, and how do I make it bomb? Commanders you control have protection from everything, vigilance, flash. That's not a bad just stat, body and stat to have on a 1/1 thing that's going to get proliferated. So if we throw 1/1s on this, we can just get a big vigilance swinger. And then also giving our Titus protection from everything seems like that lets him get in really easily, which means that we get his proliferation more and more easily because he can't be blocked because he has protection from everything. Vexilus is great. Yeah, I need this deck tomorrow, so I can't buy any cards. Oh, you're gonna have a good deck by tomorrow, dude. Yeah, you've already like got this deck pretty much. Vexilus. Did I spell that right? Vexilus. Yeah. You slow thing, Vexilus Praetor. Vexilus def gonna get cut. Oh, you think so? Like get killed or get cut from the deck? Because giving your commander when it's tightest protection from everything means that like you can't get blocked anymore. It gets protection from creatures. So like then you can like feel free to like once you get a counter on tightest just bash face. I don't know. I kind of like Vexilus. I don't mind it, especially in this list. And if we need to get it cut by the end, I could definitely agree on that. That's definitely a cut. And they shall know fear. 1 and a white instant. So here's the thing. It's gonna be a 1/1 counter deck, but are we gonna do a sub theme of tokens? Do you guys think? Or are we gonna just like play value creatures that interact with the theme and then put 1/1 counters on those? I guess we'll find out on the way. And they shall know fear seems really good because if we can get our stuff big enough and a lot of it's the same creature type, we can get it indestructible and 1/0 until end of turn, so it's good protection. But that's if we're going like the counters route or the tokens route, which I kind of think we should. I think running some token cards are just going to be good in a deck like this, so I'm going to put and they shall know fear in here because we need we need like bodies to put the 1/1 counters on too. I'm quite glad I traded my Blood Crypt for the Hollowed Fountain last week. Yeah, I bet, dude. It's coming in handy. And they shall know fear. Come on. Scryfall is not responding to us, and our search functionality is completely dependent on them. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do to other than wait. Sick. Wow. Okay. Not the best time to do that, but that's all right. Oh, didn't mean to do that. So Titus doesn't put counters on anything on his own. Very true. I would start from the base of creatures and effects that put 1/1 counters on things. That's true. I think we should go through the thing and add anything that we think is going to be good in the deck, but like particularly try to find cards that do the 1/1 counter thing. Okay, so I guess we'll try the next card and just see if it works. I think Thunderhawk Gunship's just a good card. We get 2/2/2 bodies plus a 6/6 body because one of those 2/2s can just crew it. And then gives all of our attacking creatures flying. So if we're throwing counters on everything, just giant attacking flyers. That also makes tokens. This is not the time to do this. Moxfield. Ding dong. Thunderhawk Gunship. There we go. Sphere Grid Slam Dunk. Yep. A Canoptech Scarab Swarm seems great. 4 for a 1/1 flying. When it enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. For each artifact or land exiled, you get a 1/1 colorless insect with flying. So if we start putting 1/1 counters on stuff, just having a ton of 1/1 flyers, yeah, that seems fine in my eyes. The Golden Throne. If you would lose the game, instead you go to 1 life, sack a creature to add 3 mana of any combination of colors. If we go the token route, that's not going to be terrible. I'm still not a huge fan of that card, though. So I don't know if that makes the cut. Unless you are feeling it. As the owner of these cards, if you are feeling the Golden Throne in this deck, dude, we will put it in. Hallowed Fountain. Definitely going in. Sphere Grid we already put in. Monster Manual. I don't know if we're really trying to cheat in big giant stuff. Irenicus' Vile Duplication is going to be good. Getting a second Titus. Getting 2 proliferation triggers whenever anything connects. Did I connect? Iren. You son of a bitch. There we go. So getting a second Titus is just going to be good. You get 2 card draws, 2 proliferations, 2 of the moving counter effects. Like that's going to be great. Kellen we can't run. We're going to put Skull Clamp in here just in case we get enough of the like if we end up going like the token route, just so I don't forget it later. But if we don't, we can end up cutting it. Generous Patron enters the battlefield support 2 whenever one or more counters are put on a creature you don't control. Draw a card. Does that go in here? I feel like it does. Sphere Grid Slam Dunk. Nick, are you doing this full time now? I'm attempting. We're making a damn good attempt right now to do it full time. Yeah, we are trying, my guy. Thank you for noticing. It's scary, but we got merch now. We got the website. We got the tool. Channel's doing pretty decent. We got some good patrons. I'm gonna be going live more, so hopefully we can get this working in our favor, dude. Does Generous Patron go in here? Proliferate and Generous Patron go burr. Oh yeah, it does. That definitely goes in here then. Anyone else has a counter on anything, and you're just like, I'm gonna draw a bunch of cards from a Generous Patron by giving you one more of those. That's actually really good. Someone in my latest video was like, you look like an old lesbian. And I replied, and I was like, what? ... Old? Are you fucking kidding me? I look old? And then I watched it, and I was like, funnily enough, I had the exact same thought when I was making the video after I finished it. I was like, I look a little lesbianish, but that's okay, dude. Because I am a lesbian, dude. So I look exactly like I should look. 3 visits. Walking Ballista is a definite as well. Stop popping up with a little Scryfall warning. You're search and find. Stop limiting yourself. I say that, but then you can limit yourself here. There we go. Might as well put it in now. We can cut it later. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Tataro Taru, 1 and a white for a 0/3. Every time there's a name like that, I always say it like in the accent. I just imagine that has like kind of an Asianish accent to it. Like, and I do it with another card too. What card is it? There's another card where I say it, and someone at the store asked me why I rolled my tongue during it, and I was like, I just feel like it's kind of like a Hispanic pronunciation. I do it with all the time. This card, I'm like Tataro Taru. I feel like it literally is Japanese, dude. Tataro Taru. 1 and a white, 0/3. When it enters, you draw a card. A target opponent may draw a card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, if it isn't that player's turn, create a tapped treasure token. I mean, that's going to just be good in this deck. That's good in like most decks. Mana ramp for your opponents drawing extra cards? Sure. That's never been proven to be good before in the past. Cage Sun, you're in 3 colors. Authority of the Console, creatures your opponents control enter tapped. That's going to be good in here because your stuff's going to be so big. So if people try to like play a board in order to like stop an attack that's coming up, yeah, no, you don't get to do that. You don't get to play a bunch of like a bunch of like tokens to like block my big attack next turn. No, all your tokens enter tapped. So I'm very sorry for that, but Farewell's going to be good. Path to Exile is going to be good. And then Page a 2. I think Gwenna's just good. Like a 3-drop that potentially can add 2 mana, and then when you're playing some of your bigger 1/1 counter stuff, like if we end up having bigger 1/1 counter stuff, that just seems good. Gwenna, Eyes of... Oh, come on. I'm gonna refresh. Did we establish what bracket he wants to be in? Yeah, we're thinking like heavy 2, light 3 is where this is probably gonna fall. Especially if we can get this Gwenna in here. There we go. Ultramarines, Honor Guard, 3 and a white, 2/2 squad 2. Other creatures you control get 1/1. Nah. I think we're gonna rely on counters more than like anthems. Creatures you control with 1/1 counters on them can't be blocked. Yeah, that's gonna be insane. Absolutely busted card in here. It's gonna be like a win con in this deck. Canoptech Wraith, 3 for a 2/1, or Canoptic Wraith. Can't be blocked. When Canoptic Wraith deals damage to a player, you may pay 3 and sacrifice it. If you do, search up player's library for 2 basic lands with the same name and put them into the battlefield and tapped under your control. Then shuffle. That's not a bad card, actually. Don't forget Farewell is now a game changer. True. Does that like inherently like bump it up to a bracket, whatever? Because I feel like that's probably fine to run in here. Thought Vessel and Damning Verdict are both gonna go in here. Thought Vessel. Damning Verdict. Hide on the Ceiling. Exile X target artifacts and/or creatures and return them into play. Yeah, we're going to lose our counters if we do that, though. An Offer You Can't Refuse is always going to be good. I always run this card. Just good. Yeah, 1 to 3 Game Changers makes it a 3. Really? I don't feel like running 1 Farewell makes it like a but for me, that's weird that that is a rule. Maybe not Farewell. I think we'll find better board wipes to not bump it up to that. Endless Atlas. Draw a card, activate it. Yeah, we don't need that one in here. Peter Parker. We can run. When Peter Parker enters, create a 2/1 green spider token and then pay 1 in Bant to transform Peter Parker. What does he transform into? You don't have a flip thing on this? How is there not a... Okay. Super weird. I'd actually say perhaps try for a solid 3. I just remembered the last game I played had Smothering Tithe, Ristic Study, and Blightsteel Colossus. Oh, then Farewell's getting put back into the deck. Those things can go f themselves. Oh, you're gonna try to win the game with your Game Changers? Yeah, I'm gonna wipe all your Game Changers with my Game Changer, dude. Come on, Scryfall. More like Diefall. More like... I don't know if Scryfall is gonna work, dude. I don't know if Scryfall is gonna work. That's an awfully hot coffee pot. Just flip! I just want to know what's on the back of you. This is crazy. What does Peter Parker do on the backside? I'm going on my phone. I'm going on my phone. Since you're so slow. Peter Parker... backside. Whoa! That is hilarious. That's exactly what came up. That was a meme, but that is exactly what came up. MTG. There we go. 1, a blue and a white, 4/4 vigilance reach. Each legendary spell you cast that has 1 or more colors has web slinging 3. We don't care about that in here. We do care about Soul Ring though. Propaganda. Creatures can't attack you unless their controllers pay 2. I don't think we really need that in here. Feldar Guardian, we don't really need in here. We already put Soul Ring, Mutilate. Nature's Lore is going to be good. Any kind of mana ramp. Need a little mana ramp package. Nature's Lore. Gilded Lotus. I don't think we really need that in here. Birth of the Imperium, we can't run. Triumph of St. Catherine. I don't really need that in here. It's not bad. It could be a 2-drop 5/5 lifelink that we start putting 1/1 counters on and swinging with. I'll put her in here just in case. Cause that isn't bad. What's that her name? Yeah, Triumph of Saint Catherine. Swords to Plowshare. We put in Path, right? Either way. Oh, I didn't loop my music. That's why it stopped playing. There we go. Sculpting Steel, we don't need. Lae'zel, we definitely need. We really need some 1/1 counter stuff, but I think that's probably going to come when we get out of, like, the more expensive stuff that he has. Because a lot of that stuff's pretty budget. Talisman Dominance, we don't need. Peter Parker's camera wouldn't be bad because we could get 2 triggers of Proliferate with it, or we could get another trigger of the first part of our Commander's thing. Or any of our triggers that put 1/1 counters on stuff. Yeah, Peter Parker's is probably going to end up being good. Peter Parker's is probably going to be pretty powerful. What do you mean you're not coming up with Peter Parker? The hell you mean you're not coming up with Peter Parker? What about his camera? What do you mean you're not coming up with his camera? I need pictures of Spider-Man Spread Eagle. It's nice, trust me, I agree. Yeah, that's super weird. Looks like we need another refresh here. Application error. Wow. Peter Parker's camera. Peter Parker's pack of pickled peppers. Bastion Protector to give our commander 2/2 and indestructible. I just don't know if we're going to need it. I like the other one because it helps our commander get in as well as protecting it. Johnny Zert, afternoon. Johnny, if you want to check out the description, we got a link to Ebenholz's collection down in the description, and we're helping him build a deck. We're building a Titus Yuna's Guardian Light 3 power bracket scale deck. And yeah, we're using his collection to do it because he needs it by tomorrow. Inquisitor's that's not bad. Swiftfoot boots, probably pretty good. Being able to trigger your Titus with stuff that just came into play is going to be good. Reconnaissance mission. Reconnaissance mission actually might be a maybe if we end up going more token makers. We already have a few. How do you spell reconnaissance? I'm going to say mission. Looks like we need another refresh. Reckon Naissance. Reckon Nay. Oh, come on, I just had it. There we go. Cards from the precon that he has that are good. +1 counter cards. Dusk Shell Crawler. Summoner Sending. Sheldon's Yvonne. Acolyte. Gyre Sage. Okay, cool, cool. If I miss any of those, I will definitely refer back to this double helix. I'm going to pin that comment, actually. So I can refer back to that. Talisman of Progress is going to be good. Look at this, dude. You already have a deck. You already have a deck. Up the Beanstalk. When it enters, you may... or when it enters the battlefield or whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, draw a card. I don't think we're going to end up needing that one. When this creature enters, search your library for up to 2 basic plains cards. Reveal them and put them into your hand. Shuffle when a land an opponent controls enters. If they control more land than you, you may put a land from your hand into the battlefield. That's a great mana ramp card. But you're running green, so you're probably going to have more than the opponents. Yeah, in mono white, that's really, really good. I love that. If you go to the view as text and then organize by price and then go back to the view as the picture, that's what switches them. It is really weird. Arcane Signet. I think we already did this, but I'm gonna make sure we did. No, we didn't. Cool. Thought Vessel. I think we already did Thought Vessel. Yeah, we did Thought Vessel already. Canoptic Sentinel. 4 for a 4/3 Vigilance. When Canoptic Sentinel enters the battlefield from a graveyard, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent unearth. That's kind of a cool card. Hardened Scales is definitely going in here. Hardened Scales. Trome. Trome. Is that a card? Persistent Petitioners. Soul the Harvest. Whenever a non-token creature you control enters, draw a card. Soul's pretty good. And I feel like we're going to have a lot of like bodies in here. Even if we end up going like tokens, I feel like we're just going to run a lot of creatures anyway. And we can always take it out. Soul Ring we put in. Relic of Legends. I don't think we need to run. Scrap Crawler we don't need to run. Spider-Verse no. Drawn Catacombs can't. Swords Polisher we already put in here, I believe. Yep, Swords and Path. Soul Ring we put in here. The Crowned, as long as the creature is equipped to a creature, the first time you would create 1 or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that many tokens that are copies of equipped creature. Oh, that's pretty good. If we end up going the token thing, that's actually kind of busted. We actually kind of want to go the... I feel like we almost want to go the token thing now because of Mirror Mind Crown. Because then it's like, oh, all my tokens are copies of Generous Patron. All my tokens are copies of Vexing Praetor. All my tokens are copies of Triumphant things. A lot of these are legendaries, but I feel like we're going to get more to make that, like, I don't know. That seems pretty good to me. I think we throw it in and just see where it goes. Myriad Landscape. Nah. Summon Yahobo or Yahimbo. 3 and a white, 5/5. Exile target artifact creature or tapped creature an opponent controls. Until your next turn, creatures can't attack you unless they pay 2. Create X tokens where X the number of opponents who control a creature with power 4 or greater. I don't like that one. It's a good card, but if we put any counters on it, it'll just go away eventually. And then it's like, shit. Utopia Sprawl is really good. Garruk's Uprising. Giving all your stuff trample in a 1/1 counter deck's going to be good. Power 4 or greater. I'm sure we're going to have creatures like that. I'm sure we already have creatures like that. We got 2. I'm sure we're going to have more. I mean, like, I think Garruk's Uprising is pretty good in this deck. Just for the trample and then just, like, a couple pieces of card draw throughout the game. That's definitely not bad. Ooh, this deck is for a Master Biomancer. Clover Ganon. We have a link down below for his collection. I always forget the name. Eben Halls. And we're making this deck with his collection because he has to have the deck by tomorrow. You can use Titus to remove the Saga counters off Yahimbo. Oh, love that. We're definitely going to run that then. That's super cool. That's such a cool interaction. Riku. Whenever a creature gets 1 or more counters, it cannot be blocked by creatures controlled by an opponent. It also can steal counters off enemy creatures. Ooh, if that's in his collection, definitely needs to go in here. Mask of Memory, meh. Whenever enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it. Or no, sorry, enters with a 1/1 counter on it. If a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, 1/2 Death Touch. It's not terrible. It's just like, that's like not bad actually. That's like a pretty good blocker. And then if we can get it a 1/1 counter, it'll just turn into like a late game beater. Cavalier of Thorns, the 3 green's pretty steep, and then you get to reveal the top 5 cards of your library, put a land card from among them into the battlefield. So yeah, I don't know if that's worth it in here. Chameleon Master of Disguise, 3 and a blue, 2/3. You may have Chameleon enters a copy of a creature you control except its name is Chameleon Master of Disguise. Chameleon's so good. I can't believe that's a $1 card. Very good. Cranial Plating, Arcane Sanctum, Knight's Whisper. We got a Command Tower. That definitely needs to go in here. Bellow Camp, Broker's Ascendancy. 100% goes in this deck. You have such cool cards for this list. I love it. Thalia's Lieutenant enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each other human you control. Whenever another human enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Thalia's Lieutenant. I don't know how much that one's worth running. This one I like because it has Death Touch, so like it's gonna have another use. This one I feel like it's just gonna get jump blocked all day. You know what I mean? Deploy the front, create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. I mean, I think that's pretty good. It's pretty expensive, but like that should be something that like is potentially threatening to win the game with your 1/1 counters. Inexonerable Tide, getting a proliferate whenever you cast a spell. Sure that's not going to be good. Okay. Space Marine blows up artifacts or enchantments. I don't think we need that right now. Strength of Will, 1 in a green instant until your next turn. Target creature you control gains indestructible, and whenever this creature deals damage, put that many 1/1 counters on it. Yeah, Strength of Will. Welcome to the deck. Even these cards that put like 1/1 counters on one creature are going to be good because Titus can just move those counters around with this ability. So Strength seems really, really good. Urban Retreat. Return target tap creature control to its owner's hand. Put this card from your hand on the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. Urban Retreat's cool. I've never, ever seen that card. That's super cool. Smuggler's Buggy, I don't think we need. Convergent Damnation, I don't think we need. Yuna Grand Summoner. 1 green, white, blue, 1/5. Add 1 mana of any color. When you next cast a creature spell this turn, it enters with 2 additional 1/1 counters on it. Boom. Whenever another permanent you control is put to the graveyard for the battlefield, if it had 1 or more counters on it, you may put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Yuna's insane. Do we go Yuna as the commander? I'm genuinely thinking about it. I almost think Yuna's better as the commander. She supplies 1/1 counters. She supplies mana ramp. I think we go Yuna as the commander. Genuinely. That feels better. 4-drop, mana dork, adds counters to stuff, moves counters around to stuff. Adds more counters to stuff. Yeah, I say we do Yuna instead. Yuna's Junior Commander, which is fine. I think Titus is actually better in the Yuna 99. Titus is card draw, Yuna is mana. Yeah, I think I'm going Yuna, dude. Or do we think Titus? Are we thinking Titus? Because if the chat's genuinely thinking Titus, I'll swap it back. In my eyes, I like having mana ramp and a way to put 1/1 counters on stuff more than I like card draw and like a way to double and move counters that already exist. Yuna seems like you'll have way more consistent, better games. Titus seems like you might potentially have more explosive games. I like mana in zone. I would just have to have enough draw. Yeah, we'll see what we end up with in draw. Because if we can even out the draw, I think Yuna's very good. Life Captor's Bestiary. Speaking of draw, getting scries and draws for playing creatures is going to be pretty good in here. Vanguard Suppressor, 3 and a blue, 3/2. When it enters the battlefield or deals damage, draw a card. I think it matters on how much draw is in the other 99. Yep, I agree. Vanguard Suppressor's okay. I don't know how great that is. Lady Octopus, Inspired Inventor, 1 blue, 0/2. Whenever you draw your first or second card each turn, put an Ingenuity counter on her. You may cast an artifact from your hand. Yeah, we don't need it. Improvise, you may tap artifacts. We don't need it. I don't need it. Incubation Druid definitely goes in here. For the Emperor, a 3 and a white sorcery. Creatures you control get +2/+2, gain Vigilance and Lifelink until end of turn. Yeah. That's crazy. That could be a crazy swing in this deck with that thing. Broker's Ascendancy is in here. That shit's gonna be crazy. My friend runs Yuna over Titus. Yuna seems very good. Balserius Call. Someone just talked about this card in Discord. 2, a blue and a white. Or someone submitted a deck for Balserius. It might have been LJL, now that I'm thinking about it. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. Create a 2/2 Astari's Warrior. Yeah, we don't need the artifact shit. Arcane Sanctum, no. Chasm Skulker. Putting 1/1 counters on draw and then making a ton of creatures when it dies? Sure. Just, again, getting 1/1 counters on this thing is going to be so easy. And then not doubling, but just getting a massive amount past that. And then making more bodies. That seems pretty good. Defender's as good as like a straight up token maker piece, but I'm not a big X drop guy. I feel like this card, when I ended up running it, was way clunkier than I wanted it to be. Fleet Swallower and Guilt Leaf's Embrace is a win con. Ooh, okay. When we get to those, I will check it out. Luminous Broodmoth, 2 and 2 white for a 3/4. This seems pretty good in here. Or this seems better in the Titus list. Because when something dies, it comes back with a flying counter on it, but you'd be able to move the flying counters off stuff with Titus. Still, though, that's not bad. Gyre Sage definitely needs to go in here. Shock Disallow. Counter target spell activated ability or triggered ability. I just think that's good. That's just going to be nice to have in hand. Lulu Stern Guardian, 2 and a blue for a 2/3. Whenever an opponent attacks you, choose target creature attacking, put a stun counter on it, and then 3 and a blue to proliferate. Lulu's pretty sick, actually. Which one was she? Stern Guardian. That's actually sick. I like that. Lagrella the Magpie, like a mega banishing priest. Yeah, that'd be cool. Necron Monolith, 7 for a 7/7, flying, indestructible. When it attacks, mill 3 cards. For each creature card milled this way, create a 2/2 black Necron, crew 4. Meh. Too much. Silencer's just too slow. Too slow. Oath of Ajani. 3 and a white. When it enters, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Planeswalkers you cast cost 1 less to cast. I'm going to put it in here just in case, because the 2 to put a thing on your whole board isn't bad. And then if we end up running like 1 or 2 Planeswalkers, that might just be able to do like a little bonus after we do that. But that's the first thing we've seen so far that puts a 1/1 counter on everything. So I'm going to put it in here. Bar Seek should go in here as well for some more mana ramp. Night Scythe is okay. Love Bane of Progress as a board wipe, especially with all that annoying bracket 3 stuff you were talking about being on board, like Rhystic Study and stuff. Just go ahead and wipe it and then make a massive creature with 1/1 counters on it. That's that seems pretty good. Arcade Signet. Spider Ham. Create a food token. Other spiders, boars, bears, birds, cats, dogs, frogs, jackals, lizards, mice, otters, rabbits, raccoons, rats, squirrels, turtles, and wolves you control. Get +1/+1. Wow. That's so cool. Titan of Industries, whatever. Hedron Archives, whatever. Launch of the Fleet. Until end of turn, any number of target creatures gain. Whenever this creature attacks, create a 1/1 white soldier. Launch of the Fleet's one I'm not a huge fan of. Sun Petal Grove's gonna be good. Trome, Seymour's Butler, 2 and a green, 2/3. Each other non-token creature you control enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it. I think that's all we need to see here. Tromel needs to go in here immediately. Rug of Smothering, Green Warden Marusha, Pitfalls, Efficient Constructs, Arcane Signet. Radioactive Spider, 1 for a 1/1, reach, death touch, sacrifice this creature, search your library for a spider card. Yeah. Champions from Beyond, X and 2 white. When this enchantment enters, create X 1/1 colorless heroes. Whenever you attack with 4 or more creatures, scry 2, then draw a card. Whenever you attack with 8 or more creatures, those creatures get... That seems pretty good. That's actually pretty decent. You can just play it for 2 white if your board's wide enough and just do some crazy shit with it. That's an Anthem. I don't really want that. I want more of 1/1 counter stuff. Collective Effort. Some removal that also can give your whole board a 1/1 counter. Yes, please. Everflowing Chalice. I always like Everflowing. Kind of always comes out at a nice time. Jubilation, 5 and a green, 5/5. When this creature enters, creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. Jubilation might just be a good like win con in the deck. With all your big counter stuff, just drop this and give them all a big buff trample. That doesn't seem bad. Zephyrum's okay. Not my favorite thing. I think Everflowing is better with Titus. It's definitely better with Titus, but I just don't mind Everflowing in most decks. I think it's... And if we're going to need mana ramp, we might not. We might end up cutting over Everflowing because we did have quite a bit of mana ramp right off the bat. So we'll see. Forgotten Ancient's going to be great. Just getting huge from people playing spells and then moving its counters when it dies. Sure. Protective Mage. 1 and a white instant. Put a shield counter on each of up to 3 target creatures. That's pretty good, actually. Because if we can add any, like... counter doublers or protection magic. Like in the future, that could be pretty good. Brushland. Love me a good brushland. I think we already have a Mind Stone, if I'm not mistaken. No, we do not. Mind Stone. Go in here. Silkweb Spider, 2 a white and a green, 3/5. Whenever you cast a cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 green white human. Pay 3 a white and a green. Creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance until end of turn. That's pretty good, actually. A board buff and then a token engine. That's actually sick. Tome of Legends. Commander enters the battlefield or put a page counter on it. It's whatever. Resourceful Defense is definitely going to go in here. So what are we dealing with here? So we got 6 lands, 64. We're like at a deck right now already. Like, so let's get this organized a little bit before we move on here. I'm going to do a little bit of tag in here. So we got ramp. 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 And then there was some here too. Incubation Druid ramp. Gyre Sage ramp. Utopia Sprawl ramp. 3 Visits ramp. Farseek ramp. Nature's Lore ramp. Okay, so we can get some of this rid of some of this ramp already. Oh no, we can't. 12's perfect, actually. 12's dead on the money. Skull Clamp for some draw. What else draws us? Lifecrafter's Bestiary for some draw. Generous Patron for some draw. It's just 1 draw when it enters. Soul of the Harvest for draw. Titus, he does some draw stuff. I'll put him in there. That doesn't draw. No draw. No draw. No draw. No draw. All right. Karuk's Uprising draw. Reconnaissance is not what I meant to put in here. I meant to put in reconnaissance mission. Any more draw? No. Okay. So as far as draw is concerned, we've got 6 pieces of draw, 12 pieces of ramp, and then we've got removal, which we got Bane of Progress, which is like a wipe, not really removal. We'll put it there. We'll put this little Death Toucher in there just to like, because it's probably gonna do a lot of chump blocking, but just to start the section as well. We're gonna do that. Oh yeah, Gwenna is mana ramp as well. Any more removal? Oh yeah, we definitely have removal. We have some. We've got an offer you can't refuse. We've got Path to Exile. We've got Swords to Plowshare. We've got Disallow. We've got Collective Effort. And then for the wipes, we've also got... Where'd that wipe go? Right there. We got Farewell and Damning Verdict. Okay, so next let's do like token creators we've got in here, because I think we've got some of those. Change tags, tokens, Canaptic makes tokens, Chasm Skulker makes tokens, Silkweb Weaver makes tokens. Champions of Beyond makes tokens. And Deploy to the Front makes tokens. Okay, so we got that. Now let's go 1/1 counter cards, like cards that actually can place 1/1 counters on stuff, which is not going to be very much right now. We've got +1 enablers. We got that one. Not a lot of else right now. We got some stuff that doubles and stuff, which we'll add to a separate category, but things that actually add 1/1 counters. We got Sphere Grid. We got Hardened Scales, which is not the same thing. It doesn't actually start 1/1 counters. Oath of Vajani puts 1/1 counters on stuff. Broker's Ascendancy puts 1/1 counters on stuff. Strength of Will puts 1/1 counters on something. Okay, so we got those for 1/1 counters. And then we got 1/1 counter interactions. So +1 interaction. Herald of Secret Streams. We've got Lae'zel, which gives you a bonus 1/1 when stuff gets 1/1s. We've got Resourceful Defense, which will let you move your counters. Exonerable Tide will proliferate. Hardened Scales will add you an additional one. Okay, so there's that. There's the little interactions there. +1 payoffs. Yeah. What else? Let's see what these other ones go down into. This crown. Oh, that's tokens. That's gonna make more tokens. Protection. So we got protection there. I think there's a couple other things that can do protection. Vexilus Praetor is protection. Heroic Intervention is protection. Protection Mage is protection. Who would have guessed it? Authority of the Consuls is kind of protection. It stops aggro decks from attacking us too much. Then we've got this, which is just second commander. We have the spider that can do it as well, second commander. We'll put the creatures that give themselves 1/1 counters in with the other 1/1 counter stuff. So we'll add her to that as well. We'll add that to that as well. We'll add that to that as well. Proliferate. We added that to the 1/1 interaction. Yeah, I'll put that there. Okay, I'm getting close here. Put counters on us. These are creatures that we want to put counters on, so our 2 like life linker people are going to be in there. And then maybe this one, I guess. Yeah, put counters on us. That's also removal. So I need to move that guy to removal as well. I was going to put this under second commander, the camera, because that's pretty much what we're going to be using. Wait, do we even need the camera in this deck? When you next cast a creature. Yeah, when you next. That'll count as a triggered ability, so that seems pretty good in here. So we'll put that there. This is mana ramp. And this is like a board buff. And then this is also a board buff. Cool. Okay, we got it organized. We can definitely take out a couple pieces of ramp, though. So I will drop the chalice. And then we will drop... I don't know. Grayson Yones, what are we doing here? We're helping our boy build a deck by tomorrow out of his collection. So if you go in the description, there'll be a link to his collection, and we're building him a Una Grand Summoner deck out of it, and he has a lot of fire for it right off the bat. Yeah, right now we're just cutting some cards, looking at what we got so far that we've went through his collection, and so far we've got a little token package, a little bit of a 1/1 counter package, protection. Putting 1/1 counters on stuff, interacting with the 1/1 counters on stuff. So we've got a little bit of like a token 1/1 counter deck based off Una going right now. So right now we're kind of going back through, seeing what we should cut, what we should keep, and doing stuff like that. Jubilation, I don't think we can keep. I think that's like whatever, if I'm being honest. Like before the Emperor is going to be great. I don't even know if we needed either any or, you know what I mean? I don't think we need either one of the board buffs. Like we're going to have like 1/1 counters. I have faith we're going to have more 1/1 counters coming to us. Hinterland Harbor goes in here. Hinterland Harbor. Shipwreck Looter enters the battlefield. If you attack with a creature this turn, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Nah. Hour of Reckoning. Destroy all non-token creatures. Yeah, we'll put that in there as another wipe. That could just win you a game. This is a dope idea. You're a smart cookie. Canopy Vista. 3 of the ramp pieces look at forest specifically. Oh, that's true. Do we have a Canopy Vista in here? Yes. Yes. Okay, Blossoming Defense, Mindstone, Fleshes. Well, we already went through these. We were down here. Creatures you control with flying get 1/1. When Sin enters, remove all counters from any number of artifact creatures and enchantments. Sin enters with X 1/1 counters on it, where X is twice the number of counters removed this way. When Sin dies, put its counters on target creature you control, then shuffle it into its owner's library. 7's so steep for that, though. 7's crazy. Oh, Ghost Arc might need to go into Vol. I can crew this thing with one of my zombies and then just start unearthing stuff for 3. Ew. I'm going to put that off to the side. Robe of the Archmagi. 2 in a white, or 2 in a blue. When a creature deals combat damage to a player, draw that many cards. Enchant Shaman, Warlock, or Wizard. Our commander's going to be tapping, though. I don't think we really need that. X is the number of attacking creatures. That's pretty good. That's not bad, actually. Whenever Epistolary Librarian attacks, you may cast a spell with mana value X or less from your hand, where X is the number of attacking creatures you control. So if we're going wide, we can just, like, place something on board for free. I mean, that's kind of sick, actually. Epistolary. Oh, my gosh. It's actually kind of good. Fathom Mage is busted in here. Fathom Mage is very good in here. The Wanderer, prevent all combat damage. Running a map, acrobatics. Riku, whenever one or more counters are put on a creature until end of turn, that creature can't be blocked. Welcome to the deck, Riku. Your temple's under attack is just great. Protect your tokens or draw some cards. Love that card. Oka's pretty good. Remove a counter from something you control to draw a card. I actually think that's not bad in here. Do I know how to spell it, though? No. Oh, Aka. Isolated Chapel, Talisman of Progress. Oh, we already have Ramp. We don't need that one. Another stream. Huge dub. Thank you, thank you. What's up, Yorsum? Summon Ixin. 2 and a white, 3/3. Exile target creature an opponent controls until it leaves. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature of up to 2 creatures you control and you gain 2. That's great. Summon Ixion is fantastic in this deck. That's exactly what we need. Hello, Ixion. Welcome to the deck. Martial Coup. Board wipe that gives you a bunch of 1/1s. I mean, we'll probably swap out one of our board wipes for that. Altered Ego Kamiri. Is that in here? Look at it for one second. Meister Seymour, we already hit. No, Meister Seymour is not in here. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, put a number of 1/1 counters on Master Seymour. Oh no, equal to Master Seymour's power on target creature you control. Yes, please. Is that his name? Oh, it's Maester. Maester Seymour. I'm so sorry. 1,000 apologies. Maester. Dance's Chakram's okay. Rumor Gatherer is going to be great for some card draw and stuff, especially if we can get a couple more token creators. Couple more token creators, couple more 1/1 counter cards, and I think we're looking pretty good here. Vanquish the Hordes, draw creatures, Scholar of the New Horizons. This creature enters with a 1/1 counter on it. Remove a 1/1 counter from a permanent you control. Search your library for a plains card. Reveal it if opponents control more land. Yeah, that's whatever. Overflowing Basin and Exotic Orchard are going to be good. Parry the Pulverizer. Enters, put a shield counter on target creature. When Parry the Pulverizer attacks, target creature you control gains trample and +X/+X, where X is the number of different kinds of counters among permanents you control. We're really going hard on the 1/1s. Rampant Rejuvenator. 3 and a green, 0/0. It enters with 2 1/1s. When this creature dies, search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the number. We don't really need any more ramp, to be fair. Our commander's doing it, and we run a lot of it anyway. Rite of Replication's gonna be good. Like, getting another copy of most of our creatures is gonna be great. Getting 5 of those, yeah, it's probably gonna be... I hesitate to say better. Entrapment Maneuver. 3 and a white, target player sacrifices an attacking creature. Oh, I thought it had to be their biggest one. That's lame. Prairie Stream. That'll be good. That is not how you spell prairie. Right? Yeah, no, that was not how you spell prairie. Fortified Village. Auron Vulnerate Guard. 3 and a white, 2/5 Vigilance. When Auron attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it. When you do, exile target creature defending player controls with power less than Auron's. That's pretty good repeatable removal in a 1/1 counter deck. I gotta say. That's actually not bad. Gata and Luza. You were talking about that going infinite in here, so we will definitely put that in here. Fell the Mighty. Tainted whatever. Space Marine. Snakeskin Veil. We don't need any of these. Don't need any of these. A second spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. I don't think we need that. That is a very powerful effect, but I don't think we need that in here. I would love that in like 1,000 of my decks. That's actually really, really good. Everflowing Chalice, Cleansing Nova, Basilisk Gate, Glacial Fortress is a good one. Chocobo Knights, 3 and a white, 3/3. When it attacks, creatures you control with counters on them gain double strike. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is why I took out those board buff cards, because I'm like, I think we're probably going to have stuff that'll do that anyway. That'll be great. Blitzball Stadium. Does he have that in here? He does. Blitzball Stadium? Hell yeah. Blitzball! What else do we got here? Hermes. We don't need Hermes. Like, non-creatures coming birds isn't bad, but like I don't think we... Or do we? Because then, like, how many non-creatures are we running? Tons of creatures. 11 sorceries, 8 instants. That's not enough to justify Hermes. Tireless Tracker. Go ahead and get a... Oh, an investigation whenever a land enters? That's pretty good, actually. Especially with our mana ramp stuff. That's actually pretty good. Card draw. Nesting Grounds. Move a counter on a land. That's gonna be good. Canopy Vista. Did we already do Canopy Vista? We did. Green, blue, 1/1 trample. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value equal to Jackal's power, copy that spell except it isn't legendary. Then put a 1/1 counter on Jackal. I don't know how good that is, but it reads very cool. I'll say that much. I'll say it reads cool. Summon Maga Sisters. Oh gosh, 4 and a green. Summon a 5/5 haste, like that. Choose one at random. Chapter 1, 2, and 3. Put 3 1/1 counters on target creature. Put a shield counter on target creature. This creature fights up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. I also think we should take out that other one now that we're not running Titus. This one. Excellent. No, not this one. Not this one. Yimbo. This one. Sunscorch Regent. It doesn't look like he does have one. Sunscorch Regent. Prairie Stream, which we already did. Inspiring Call is going to be very good. Eclipse Kithkin, Doctor Commander, Plasma, Port Town. Did we do Port Town already? I don't think we did. No, we did not. Port Town. All right, what else? What else? What else? What else? Great Forest Druid, Risen Reef, Bushwhack. Bushwhack wouldn't be bad. Getting a land or just having a fight in a 1/1 counter deck, that's actually not bad. Bushwhack. Seaside Citadel. Why not? Thunderwolf Cavalry is interesting. It's a 5-drop, but it gives your whole board a 1/1 counter when it connects. I don't know if that's worth running, though. 5 drops pretty steep. Cut a Deal's always good. I like that for card draw. Everyone else gets 1 card. You get 3. Cut a draw. Cut a Deal. Cut a Wicked Fat. Together Forever. 2 white enchantment when this creature enters support 2. Choose target creature with counters on it. When that creature dies this turn, return it to its owner's hand. Yeah, Together Forever seems very good. Summon Good King Moogle. I really don't like these cards very much. This one's good because it gives 1/1 counters, but it only gives it to 2 Moogles you made, so I don't think that's really worth it. Ragna's Sanction and Cathar's Crusade. I will look them up at the top of the next page here. I always like Negate. I think Negate's literally one of the most powerful Magic cards in like the modern age. It's incredibly good. Okay, what were those 2 cards? Ragna's Sanction? Or Ragna's? I'm gonna trust you saw those in the list because it is being a total bitch right now. Oh, I just reset my things. That's great. Oh, I don't see Cathar's Crusade in here. And I don't see Regna's Sanction, but it doesn't mean they're not in here. Okay. No, don't go away. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. Pressure point, negate. I didn't separate this differently, did I? No, it's 23 cents. We're still good. We're still good. Sky Cloud Expanse. Sungrass Prairie, I thought we already did. Nope. Grateful Apparition, 1 in a white, 1/1 flying. When it deals combat damage to a player, proliferate. That's pretty fucking good. Spider Penny. Look that up at the top of the next page. Oh, Spider Penny. Spider, piloted by Penny. Suppose your opponent's control that casts target control, whatever. When Spider Penny enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. When a modified creature control does combat damage to, yes, Spider Penny is definitely gonna go in there. Okay. Path of Discovery. Whenever a creature control enters, it explores. That's a pretty good way of getting 1/1 counters on stuff and fixing your draws. That kind of absolutely slaps. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. Now that we've added some new stuff. Okay. Naval tags. Okay. Let's see what we can add here. We've got Blitzball. X and a blue. When this creature enters, support X. Put a 1/1 counter on each of up to X creatures. So that's going to be our 1/1 counter. And then also draw cards, because it also draws us cards. This will go in draw. And then also 1/1 counter enablers. And then we've got... Oh, untagged a bunch of stuff. Atron, which is removal. Some pretty good repeatable creature removal here. Chocobo Knights is going to be a board buff. We'll just put it under like WinCon, because we are pretty much going to use that to probably try to bring home games. Any big effect like that, we're not sure where to put it. I don't think we need the Librarian. I thought he was cool when we were going through it, but I don't think he's that great for the deck. Fathom Mage is some good card draw. Gata and Luza, 2 in a white, 1/1 flash. When it enters the battlefield, choose target creature you control. If damage would be dealt to that creature this turn, prevent that damage and put that many 1/1 counters on it. Cool. 1/1 counter enabler. Also, that infinite combo. You guys had to point out what that 1/1 counter or combo was again for me, so I can separate it into a different thing. Did I really not go there? Okay, I guess it did. This is gonna be proliferation. We put on the enablers or whatever it was, right? Yeah, or interaction. 1/1 counter interact or 1/1 counter enablers. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff that gets counters now, or that gives counters. That's gonna be good. Oka's some good card draw. Riku, whenever one or more counters one creature until turn, they can't be blocked. Move a counter from one creature, so 1/1 counter interaction, I guess. Card draw with Rumor Gatherer here. Path of Discovery +1 enablers. Spider Penny will be card draw and 1/1 counter enabler because it puts a 1/1 counter on something. Card draw. Enabler. Summon is also going to be removal and a 1/1 counter enabler. Oh, I put Tyler's Provisioner instead of Tracker. I have a habit of doing that. There we go. Okay. Sunscorch, whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a 1/1 counter on Sunscorch. So that'll be another enabler. Gives itself 1/1 counters. Together Forever is another enabler, as well as protection. So we'll put that with the other protection stuff. Where was our other protection stuff? Is that down at the bottom? That's also protection, strength of will. So we'll move that down there too. Oh, there it was. Protection. And then what was the other one that was protection? Together Forever. Okay, we're getting somewhere here. Tyler's Tracker is good card draw. Some more good card draw. Some more good card draw. Let's see if we got more card draw that we can add here while we're here. And more good card draw. Then we got a couple more wipes here. So wipe. And wipe. Then we can put this under win con with that other card, win con. And then some removal. And then more removal. With this, we're honestly looking pretty good here. We have to cut a lot of stuff, but we're looking good. Warden of the Grove. I don't see that one. Okay, so let me do a little organizing here. So enablers, I think this is probably fine. 16 of them is going to be good for the deck. I feel like we could probably cut the Renegade, the Death Touch Girl. I like an even 15 on enablers here. Interaction, I like the Proliferate stuff a lot, so that's going to stay. I like this a lot. I think all this stuff's good. All the 1/1 interaction stuff we have is actually like pretty top tier stuff. Second Commander is going to be great. Getting more of our ability with our Yuna is going to be nuts, so any of those are going to be good. Draw, we've got 15. I think we can cut that down to 13. I also don't think we need Skull Clamp. I don't think we have enough 1/1 token creators to really justify it. I don't think we need Skull Clamp. I don't think we need Life Crafters. I think we're cool with 13 draw. I think that's fine. 7 protection seems steep as well. I don't think we need Together Forever. It's a little... Oh, wait. That would just get rid of our... That would take us down to 5. That would take us down to 14. I don't want that. I don't want that. I think we could probably get rid of Protection Magic. We run Heroic Intervention. I mean, honestly, like, that's just, like, so much better. And then we've got Strength of the Will to get 1/1 counter, so I think that's fine. These 6 protection spells. Celestine's great to help us reanimate, and Triumph's great to throw 1/1 counters on, so I think those are both fine. 13 pieces of ramp, I think we could probably cut that down to 10 because our commander ramps in the first place. But we also want to hit our commander, so 2-drop ramp's really important. So we might stay at 13. Yeah, we stay at 13 because we want to hit our commander too. We want to make sure we're hitting our commander turn 3. 9 pieces of removal. I wish we maybe had a little bit more of that, but that's still not terrible. 7 token creators isn't a lot, but they are good, and it does interact with the deck. So I think these are probably fine to stay. Like, Canaptic is going to give you a lot. Champion of the Beyond can probably go. Chasm's going to be great. It interacts with the deck well. Deploy to the Front's a lot of mana that can probably go. Mirror Wine Crab Crown can probably go because we don't have a lot of counter interaction or token interaction anymore. I think these 4 are just good in the deck. Canoptic's going to make you a massive board out of nowhere, and it also acts as graveyard removal. Yeah, graveyard removal, so I'll put that up here. Chasm Skulker is going to get 1/1 counters, which interacts with the deck, and then if it dies, gives you tokens. Silk, I don't think interacts with the deck well enough to justify running it. Thunderhawk giving your board flying, very good. I think these 3 are just going to interact with the deck anyway, and then making tokens is also just going to make them good. Win cons, again, Rite of Replications, making a copy of, like, let's see. Like, making a copy of the Sisters of Triumph, or making a copy of Tireless Tracker, Rumor Gatherer, making a copy of Soul to Harvest, Fathom Mage. I feel like there's a lot of dumb stuff you could do with that in this list. And then giving your stuff double strike when it has counters on it seems insane. 5 wipes is way too much. We're going to go down to 3. Non-token one doesn't matter anymore. And then the one that makes tokens is whatever. So we're going to go to Bane of Progress, Damning Verdict, and Farewell for our wipes. And then we've got lands here. Which, let's, oh, shit. Make sure we don't have any more good lands here. Port Town. Oh, we already have a Port Town. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card. Exile a creature, return it. Exile a creature, return it. Exile, search your library. Whenever another creature you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on that creature if its power is less than Shalid's power. Otherwise, put a 1/1 counter on Shalid. Oh, Shalinda's great. Shalinda seems fantastic in here. P-Mac, what's going on? We're looking at oh man, I was gonna say Erebos. I cannot remember names for the life of me, dude. Don't feel bad. It's not a you thing, it's a me thing. Ebon Holes. We're looking at Ebon Holes' deck. His collection's down below in the description if you want to click on that link and follow us along. But he needs a deck by tomorrow, and we're helping him build one. And pretty much we've got a solid ass deck started. I'm just making sure there's not anything that's like definitely needed in the deck right now that I'm missing. Gavany Township, yes. Doesn't look like he has a Gavany Township. Just super unfortunate, because that'd be really good. Who's the commander? Yuna. You know who it is. Yuna, Grand Summoner. Mana Ramp, put counters on stuff. When stuff leaves, put more counters on stuff. We're going to be putting counters on stuff. OG Duels. True, true, true. Reminds me of I think you should leave, Tim Robinson. True, true. No, what was that guy? Waka. 2 green, white, 4/4, reach, trample. When he deals combat damage to a player, destroy up to 1 target artifact that player controls, then put a 1/1 counter on Waka. At the beginning of your end step, if a counter was put on Waka this turn, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control. Yeah, Waka needs to go in here. OG Duels, Ozolith. Isn't that how you spell his name, or is it 2Ks? Oh, it's 2Ks. Does he have a precon? Yeah, he said he got a bunch of deconstructed precons from some of his friends, so he has like bits and pieces of different precons, and a lot of those lend itself to being very good for a Bant commander deck. Who would have guessed? Okay, if you guys don't mind going to the collection and looking at page 13 on, like if you organize by price, if you go to his collection, go to text, and then organize by price right here, highest to lowest, and then go back to here. We're on page 13. If you could go from page 13 on and let me know if there's anything crazy we're missing while I go through here and cut some stuff, it'd be great. If also, I highly recommend the Ozolith. Yeah, 100% it needs to go in here. I don't think he has it, though. Maybe he does. He does not. But it's very, very good. Let me just throw some islands and stuff in here just so we can get this rounded out so my brain can work. $39 green, 39 white, 24 blue. Okay. So we need to cut 13 cards. Oh, we're pulling for a collection, not making suggestions. Yep, there's a link to his collection down below. And we're looking through it, try to build this. So we've got 13 cards after we do 38 lands we have to cut. So let's see here. Shalinda's going to be great for 1/1 counter enablers. And then so is the other girl we added. Or the other guy, Waka. Okay, so lands are good. Board wipes are good. I feel like we probably can get rid of Rite of Replication and Chocobo Knights. Like, it's not like we're getting rid of our only 2 win cons. Those are just 2 cards we weren't sure where to put them, and they can potentially win the game. I think this deck's going to do fine winning the game with its strategy here. The 3 token creators I think are great because they also interact with the 1/1 go wide bash face strategy. Removal is going to be good because we only have 10 of it. Ramp, I do think we could probably take out a few pieces of ramp with our commander ramping. So I think we could go down to 12 or 11. Probably 11, it will be fine. I think we can get rid of Gwenna because she's a 3-drop. We don't really need 3 drops. We need 2 drops into our commander. So getting rid of Gwenna is fine. We'll loop back to that. Put counters on us. I don't know if we even need the put counters on us stuff because so many of the creatures that are in here in the counter enablers are like already good to put counters on. You know what I mean? Like this guy's got lifelink. This guy's got vigilance. This dude dies and makes a bunch of stuff. This guy's got reach, trample. This dude's got flying. Like, so I feel like we don't really need Triumph of St. Catherine. I think Celestine's very good still. Just putting counters on her and bashing face, gaining life, recurring stuff. Like, I think that's still going to be great. Protection, I think, still might be a little too high. We'll get rid of the Swiftfoot Boots. I don't think we really need Swiftfoot Boots. Vexilus Praetor, we don't need anymore because we're not running Titus. We don't need Titus to get through. So I think those are probably fine for him. Rumor Gatherer isn't as good without the tokens. Super good shout out. So Rumor Gatherer can get cut. 12 pieces of draw is fine. Second commander, I think we could probably cut Peter Parker's camera because it eventually runs out of film. In these 2, we literally just get a permanent second commander, so that seems good. This interaction package seems really good. Again, I think we can cut 2 enablers to go down to 15 again. I think we could probably cut Oath of Ajani. Like, looking at it, the stuff that we have that can give board-wide 1/1 counters is Blitzball, Broker's Ascendancy, Path of Discovery, Master Seymour, Shalita, Sphere Grid, Waka, Trommel. Like, we have a ton of stuff. I actually don't think we need the Oath of Ajani in here. So Oath of Ajani can get cut, and then one more. I'm gonna say together forever. This seems like it's not gonna run as good as it reads. So we need 3 more cards. What are we gonna cut? 3 more cards to cut. Like, do we cut our token package? But like, I like that. I think those are all 3 very good in this deck. Maybe we do cut the Thundergun ship and we do cut the Canoptic, but we keep the Chasm Stalker. So now we're missing 1. Oh, we have to change the name to Unideck. I think Inexorable Tide can go. 5 is so steep for that. We should already be like flooding the board with counters and pretty much taking home games by then. Or be in a situation where the next few turns can do that. I think we're looking pretty fucking solid. I'm gonna run a test game in this real quick. There's a good opening hand. We'll play test that. Oh, it's not really that good of an opening hand. We have no creatures. Let me restart. That's not keepable. Restart. We're not getting a lot of creatures, which we should be. There we go. That's more creatures. I was going to say, I'm like, we should, but that's a lot of blue-white. Ooh, what's going on here? What's going on here? Let's go back to the deck list real quick. 29 creatures. That's a pretty good amount of creatures. Okay, let's try. Play test. We'll go first. We'll play a tapped land, pass. Go back around, play an untapped land. We'll play a mana rock, pass. Then turn 3, we'll play Yuna. Pass. Comes back around to us. Untap, draw. Yuna can tap to add 1 mana of any color. When you next cast a creature spell, it enters with 2 additional 1/1 counters on it. So we will play 2 mana to cast Okara, who will enter with 2 counters on him. So that's a pretty good little interaction there. And then we'll pay 4 to play Aeronekis' Vile Duplication and make a copy of our commander. And then we'll pass. Comes back around. Play a land. Tap this to remove a counter from this. And draw a card. Pay 2 for Thought Vessel. Pay 4 to get another Yuna? Yeah, this is a weird game, but sure. And then have our little Gata and Lazu to protect our Yunas, I guess. Inspiring Call. Draw us a few cards. It's very that was an interesting hand. I don't know if that's definitely not how the game's gonna play, but I would have kept Inexhonorable and cut the Sunscorched. Ooh, I actually do agree with that. That's a good point. Let's do another one. Deal hand. Can't keep that. Deal hand. Can't keep that. Deal hand. Can keep that one. Play test. Go first. Play tapped land. Go ahead. Second turn, we'll play Grateful Apparition and pass. Comes back around. It's kind of an awkward one because we didn't get mana ramp. Turn 4, play our commander. Next turn, play Forgotten Ancient. As well as have mana open for a negate. I'll pass back around. I mean, we'll play a Celestine. I don't know if we'll play Celestine yet. I think we'll probably just do another commander again. Get another one of our commanders and then pay... Actually, we'll pay the 2 here, or the 1 here to get another commander, so it enters with the counter. And that enters with the counter as well. And that probably got a couple counters in the rotation. And then we'll play Blitz Ball for 2, and we'll put another counter on this, and we'll put another counter on her. And then we'll smack face with this, proliferate. Seems pretty good. Sea of Clouds enters untapped. That's why it's like a $40 card. Oh, yeah, it's literally just a fast land. That's crazy. Okay, restart. Can't keep that one. It almost looks like we need to run a little bit more land, like, which is weird. We run a pretty good amount of mana ramp and land in the deck. We run 38 lands. Oh, the mana curve's weird. That's why. We have a ton of 3-drops, not a lot of 2-drops. Okay, so that's what we need to fix. We need to take out some 2-drops for some 3-drops to make this curve a little better. So let's see if there's any 2-drops in here which is worth running. Ooh, Lord Jiska's good. At the beginning of your end step, if you put a counter on something, investigate, and it's a 2/1 flying. That's perfect. Because now we can put that in there. And take out Cut a Deal as one of our card draw pieces as a 3-drop and add a 2-drop instead. It's exactly the type of thing we needed to do here. No, she closes in $40. It's more like 22 to 25 if I remember correctly, unless the price has gone up. That's still a crazy effect. It's like some Lutri level, like, oh, it's pretty good. It's just gonna be good in this format. Just a couple more 2-drops we could swap out for some 3-drops. Especially if they were creatures that we could like put counters on. I feel like this would feel a lot better. Oh yeah, does he have the brood scale? No. No. I'm gonna go back to page 1 here. What do we have so far? We've got a deck pretty much. Right now, what we're trying to do is swap out a couple of the 3-drops for 2-drops so that we can make this mana curve better. Primarily, we need more creatures. Like, so more 1 or 2 drops, preferably 2-drop. creatures that we can run and swap out for some of the 3-drop stuff we have to make this mana curve a little better. That's what I'm looking for right now. Like, maybe we do go with Latalia, the Lieutenant. A 2-drop 1/1 that gets a 1/1 counter on it for each human you control, and whenever another human enters, you get a 1/1 counter. How many humans do we have, though? Human, 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 human. I mean, that feels like enough humans, right? If you are still on to the next star, I'll come by and see if I can... Oh, if you're still on to the next hour, I'll see if I can come by and see if I can help. Hell yeah. I don't know if we will be. We're probably about to wrap this up. As soon as we can find some way to curve out this mana curve better. I don't think Thalia's Lieutenant's that good. Sorry if you can hear the baby crying. There's nothing we can do about it. Baby's gonna cry. Baby's gonna cry. That's what happens in life. I said baby gonna cry. I need some more 1 and 2 drop creatures, dude. Mainly 2 drops. I think Scholar Horizon's actually not bad. If we do happen to be behind on by the time it comes out, that's what it was called, right? Horizon Scholar? Was that his name? Yeah, no, it was not. What was that guy's name? It was just on the screen. Scholar of New Horizons. Because then we can just mana ramp with it to get our commander out turn 3. It's a 2/2 body. It cares about having counters on it. That all seems good. And it's mana ramp, so we can take out one of our little mana ramp things here. And I will probably take out a talisman because I really don't care about the talismans in here. And the curve should be looking better. Curve still, we need 1 more swap out. We need 1 more 3-drop for a 2-drop, and then our curve's looking pretty good here. Something just jump out at me. Jump out at me. How do we feel about this? Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value equal to Jackal's power, copy that spell except it isn't legendary, then put a 1/1 counter on Jackal. That seems kind of good. We can scale him with our deck pretty easily to then like set it up so we can play a thing into him to get a copy of it. I think Jackal's actually not bad in this deck. I'd be even inclined to say it's pretty freaking good in here. Yeah, it's a 1/1 enabler. Like what? Like I almost like this more than I like Forgotten Ancient. What's another 1/1 counter enabler we could take out of here for that? Yeah, you can manipulate the counters to keep making copies of stuff. Yeah, that seems really good in here. I think we get rid of your temple's under attack. Maybe not. I don't want to get rid of too much card draw. Let me go back to my sorting thing here. I think we can get rid of Lulu. 4 to proliferate's kind of steep, if I'm being honest. Sure, it's a dump, but we don't have any like mana, infinite mana things. The stun thing's okay. I think we can drop her. Yeah, and then our curve's looking way better here. So let's try to play test it now. That's already a more capable hand. Deal another hand. Yeah, we can keep that. Play test. Go first with a Canopy Vista. Pass. Come back around. Play a Herald of Secret Streams. Go ahead. Play a Gyre Sage. Go ahead. Play a Lazav. When it enters, it evolves. 1 second, guys. I think they're done yelling for me. Or not. Okay. So we're gonna play Gyre, or we're gonna play Lazail, which will evolve our Gyre Sage, and then Lazail will trigger to put an additional counter. So our Gyre Sage is at 3, and then we'll tap Gyre Sage for 3. I mean, we could. Nah, I think we're kind of cool sitting like this, actually. Because now if someone swings at us with something big, we can do Strength of Will. Or we can just let it pass back around us. We go. We pay 3. And then 2 to play our Yona. Because I think it's 1 color, right? Oh, it's green. So green, green, green. So we need a blue, white, green, green. Yeah, that works. We'll play her. We got a piece of removal. We got a way to put 1/1 counters on our full board. We've got Gata and Luza that we could flash in. Strength of Will that we could flash in. I think this is actually pretty good. We'll do one more test. Someone just yelled up for dinner, so I'm going to hop off here. But I'm going to do one more test for you. Play test that. First turn, we will draw. Play this. Pass around. That's not bad. You really want to see those mana ramp cards, but that's okay if you don't. Pass back around. Play this. Meister Seymour. Meister Seymour is weird right now, but we're going to play it anyway. Then we'll pass back around. We're going to play Waka. Go to our end step. Master Seymour puts a 1/1 counter on Waka. Then we'll pass back around to us. And then with this, we will swing with Waka. Actually, we'll play our commander first. Play our commander. Swing with a 5/5 trample Waka. Blow up an artifact. Put a 1/1 counter on Waka. And then at the end of our turn, since he had a counter put on him, put a 1/1 counter on all these. And then also at the beginning of combat on our turn, Meister will put a 1/1 counter on something, and I'll have him put it on this. So this guy's got 2 counters. He has 2. This guy has 1. Got a 6/6, a 3/7, and a 2/4 already. And then we'll pass back around. And I mean, like, I think we're looking pretty okay right now. Like, you have a big Waka that's just getting bigger that keeps pumping up your board. You have a way to board wipe. You have this to flash in. You've got this that you can start drawing cards with. You can pay 1 with this, 1 with this, play him, get a counter, save up your... You have a lot of, like, interactions. So you've got, like, Disdain, Gata up now. Then you draw into Titus. Get Titus firing off with all these. It's definitely a start, my guy. I hope this was at all helpful. I saw the Discord. I was like, hey, I'm not doing anything for a while. So I'll hop on and help him out. But yeah, we are going to hop off. I'm going to go eat dinner. But it seems like the deck is pretty okay. Let me post a link to the deck list here in the chat. There you are, my friend. Wow, this deck's gonna be quite fun. Evan Halls, yay! I hope you like it, dude. Thanks for the help. Not a problem, Evan Halls. Thank you. I appreciate you guys stopping in and watching a random stream. So yeah, the merch is in, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew. Boop, 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 boop. The Harvester merch shirt is in. So if you want to go to nixlotus.com, we have a website now. You can check it out. I'm not gonna force you to. Yeah. Anyway, stop blabbing your ear off and go eat. I will see